Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another Joy Toy figure for you today. This is from the Dark Sources line. This is the Lord of Shenji Camp, Lin Zhao.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Okay, so like we usually do, we're going to quickly look at the box here. It does have an image of the character, the figure right on the front there. Dark Sources, Lin Zhao, Lord of Shenji Camp, Lin Zhao. Scale 118, Joy Toy. Got some, I'm guessing some Chinese writing there. Side of the box, back of the box. As you can see, I did get two. This sticker, they put the sticker right on the front of that one. This one, it's on the back. Let's do it like that. As you can see there, he does come with 3 pairs of hands. Looks like a sword hilt, a dagger, a helmet, and a cape. And he looks pretty good. Top of the box, bottom of the box. Been really impressed with all of these Dark Sources Lin Zhao figures. And I've started to build quite a little army. So this guy's going to fit right in. So now that we've taken a look at the box, let's get him open. Okay, here is Lin Zhao out of package, and here he is, all his accessories and equipment, and here he is fully geared up. He does come with 3 sets of hands. We've got 2 fists, we've got 2 open hands, and then we've got 2 hands that are opposite to what he comes with. So he has a trigger hand, right hand, and a sort of an open hand like this to hold something, and this third pair is the opposite. So you get the trigger hand on the other hand, and likewise. So here is the helmet. Helmet's very nice. It's very cool. Got a lot of detail on there. It's got a red plume. It's very soft. It's a soft rubber plastic. It's got some of that chainmail that you'll see throughout his armor. Here is the, called a cloak. It does have a peg that plugs right into the back of his armor, in his back, right there. It's very soft as well, very soft. Here is the, I'll call it a dagger. It does have a scabbard that plugs right into his belt, and I'm glad that they gave us the blade with the scabbard, that it actually goes in instead of those, just the hilt parts. You can see here where it plugs in on the back of the belt. So if I can get him to stand up, there we go. He does have this spear. I thought it was a sword, but it's a spear. It does come apart, 2 pieces here. It's very nice, very well done. Nice metallic metal look to it. Just have a little metal at the end there. Very nice. Nice weapon. And here he is, fully fitted out. Now I got 2 of these guys because I do envision this guy as sort of an officer in this army that I'm building. So I thought I'd have 1 helmeted and 1 unhelmeted. Whoops. Fill out. I have noticed though, you know, I've only had him out for a few minutes, but moving the cloak, it does kick the helmet off. The helmet, it does have a nice, let's see if I can show you there, for his hair to fit in. It's like a little pocket to fit his bun in there, and it does go in well, but it does come off quite a bit, even though it's in there nice and snug when you bump this. And this is easy to bump, even though it plugs into the back. It is pretty easy to bump when you raise his arms. He does have standard Joy Toy articulation. All the bells and whistles you would expect. These shoulder pads here, they are a separate piece, but that's about it. They will come off. They're on there really tight. They do appear to come off. But the forearm armor the chest armor, all that is sculpted in. But yeah, this is probably the drawback, is keeping his gear on him. It doesn't quite stay on when you start to pose him and move him around. And that can be frustrating, you know. It's not a game change, you know, a deal breaker, but it is something to be aware of. So there he is. You want to get that right over. He has a nice collar there that the armor should sit over. But there's the helmet. But yeah, if you start moving those arms around, you're probably going to pop that off. It's going to knock the helmet off. And it's also going to, see, there we go, probably going to knock this off too. So that's a little annoying, but it's still a nice figure. I do get the premium vibe that I got with the prince and his associate, the two guys in red that I'll bring out here in a second to do a comparison. I do get that vibe from him. He just feels a little more premium than some of the other ones, but just right in line. It's got really nice leg articulation. Sometimes, you know, these guys, their knees are kind of weird, but this guy's knee is great. It's perfect. Double hinged. It's got that extra piece there. Let's move that back a little so you can see that a little better. But yeah, it seems like by moving him around though, I keep knocking off the gear, and it's really because of this, I think. This is why this won't stay on. I kept getting bumped. It's why this won't stay on. It kept getting bumped. So I mean, you could fit him out like this, and he does look awesome. But to get the regalness of the figure, you know, you do want to use this. But yeah, overall, this is a nice figure, guys. Is he better than the last two? I don't think so. I thought he would be, but I don't think so. But he's also better than a couple of the other ones. But since we're talking about those other ones, let's go ahead and bring them out. Just a few of them, not all of them. And we'll do a quick comparison to some of the other Dark Sources Jing Zhao figures. All right, here's Lin Zhao, I should say. Lin Zhao with some of his compatriots in the Dark Source line. We've got the monk here. We've got Quinn, Young Pin Quinn here. I think the best female in the line so far. You know, these two I didn't do a review on my channel, but I could if someone wanted to see that. But these are very good. I kind of pulled out the best four, what I think are the best four. I'm not sure if everyone would agree with me, but I got what I think are the best four. And then we have here, this was the guy I couldn't remember earlier. I think it's Zhu Shan Mi, but we were calling, Zhu Shan Mi. I guess that's how you say his name. I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. And then we called this guy the Prince. And you can see they're right in line. Looks like this guy's a little bit bigger than the rest of them. He's a little bit taller, a little bit broader shoulders. Of course, she's more petite. All of these are really good. I still kind of feel like these two are the best. If I was gonna line these up, how would I do that? I'd probably go, man, it's a tough choice. Probably be probably 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I was just gonna say, you know, which ones are the best, my left to right, I think he's probably the best. I think these two are kind of interchangeable, but that the fact that they are almost the same, rather than put them 1 and 2, you could put him first and him third, you know, and kind of swap them. He's a lot bulkier. He's a little bit different. Very cool. All of these are very good. I do really like this guy. I think he's really good. There's not a lot to say about him though, especially after, looking at and reviewing these two and looking at him. He's a great foot soldier. He looks to be, to me, like an officer in the army, so he's more of a army builder in my eyes, where these guys are sort of one-off characters. Even her, they're sort of one-offs. They have real names. This guy seems to be more of a foot soldier. You can have multiple of them. And here he is, fully geared out. I did really press the peg into that hole, and I think it helped keep it in a little bit more sturdy, more better, so it's not quite knocking everything off. But you can see the helmet it doesn't quite, it almost sticks on, but not quite enough. But overall, really good figure. You know what? Let's compare him now. Since we looked at some of the other Dark Sources figures, let's compare him now to some other fantasy figures, other fantasy lines that I have. All right, now here's a comparison with some different lines that I have. I just randomly picked some lines of fantasy guys just to kind of give you a comparison. I realized I hadn't really done that in any of the videos on these Dark Sources guys. But what we have here is, I think his name is Midas. He's a Fortnite figure. I did glue his armor on and everything, so he is a fantasy figure. You can see they line up quite well. This is a Boss Fight Studio Knight of Accord with an Animal Warrior of the Kingdom head on it. And you can see they line up and match up really well. So that's basically a Boss Fight Studio buck. This is a Marvel Universe. I think it's Thor. It's a version of Thor. And Thor's, a big old Viking kind of a guy, big old Nordic dude, and he towers over them. But same sort of thing, same fantasy kind of a thing. And then here is an Animal Warrior of the Kingdom figure, but I fitted him out with some Boss Fight Studio weaponry. He's got a Boss Fight Studio sword and spear, Greek sword and spear. So you can see he fits in well with all of them. And now that, they're all here, I'd say he's actually, in these lines, comparing them to these different lines, we got Fortnite, Boss Fight, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Marvel Universe, I'd say he's better than all of them. The closest matchup is probably these two here, the Midas and the Knight of Accord, and it's probably down to these two. It's probably 1, 2, 3, or 1 and 2, either one of these, for articulation and sculpt and paint and everything. But this is a pretty good Fortnite figure. It's actually one of my favorites. I do have 2 of them. But overall, he fits right in with any fantasy, any kind of medieval type thing going on. If you wanted him to fight Vikings, if you wanted him to fight Animal Warrior, the Kingdom type dudes, or Boss Fight Studio figures, he fits right in. So that is the overview, guys. I hope you liked it. I was a little all over the place. I hope you don't mind. I do think this is a good figure. I would grab one. I do feel like it's more of an army builder than these other ones. So he might go on sale, I think. A lot of Joy Toy stuff, I've told you before, AliExpress. If you can wait 6-8 months, especially around Christmas time, I've noticed, they really do start to discount the Joy Toy stuff on AliExpress. So that would be a good time if you're even, if you're not sure, you don't want to spend the $30, because that's what he's about $30 or so, 30 to $40, depending on where you get them. If you want to wait, that would be the time. Maybe grab one, see if you like them. If anything, he'd be a great custom to take apart and match with other Joy Toy figures. It's one of the beauties of Joy Toy, any of their lines, any of the head swaps and leg swaps and chest swaps, just like Boss Fight Studio, they all kind of connect and work together. But I do think this is an army builder. I do think I would grab 1 or 2 more once the price gets lowered, and I'd fit him out. And he looks like he'd be the great guard for the prince here, and his number 1. And there you go. I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. But thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try to shoot some photos. If you're still sticking around, please stick around and see those photos. I hope you like them. Bye.